So Ari will be here any second. I don't know if we can flip it around in the middle of things, but welcome. This is the Get Ready for the Day routine. This is the beginner. So this is suitable for you even if you've never done anything like this before in your life. You're still good here. And at the end of it, we always dance, and we started off with merengue, which is it's just kind of a stepping dance, but today we're going to move on to bachata, which is, I would say it's a little bit more complicated, but not much. It's something that you'll definitely be able to learn, so stick with us till the end. And this is your kind of head to toe, warm up your body, get your blood flowing, get moving so you can face your day a little more awake, a little more alive. And so we're going to be trying to cover our head to toe, but I want to, what I discovered in a class is that really, well, it's not really a new discovery, it's something that's been true for me very much, that if you have not activated a part of your body before, it's sometimes even hard to feel where it is. So what we're going to try and do is isolate those parts of our body that we're going to need for our bachata, and see if we can get those moving. And remember that it does take time. It's all about repetition. So we're just going to go slowly, and little by little, we are going to kind of learn about our bodies and what makes them move, how we balance, how we shift our weight from foot to foot, and all that good stuff. So butterflies. If you just want to take a nice sturdy stance, and I'm always saying, you want to feel like you're magnetized to the ground, like your feet have magnets all along the bottom, your whole foot, no part is left out. It's one big flat magnet, and that it's magnetized to the earth, which is also one gigantic big magnet, so that you feel super sturdy from like your waist down. So this is like a tree trunk, it's planted, it's immovable. Oh, hello. Can we flip the camera around, or are we going to like disappear? I don't know. I've never done that before. So in the meantime, we're going to take a breath in and a breath out. And you're breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And we're going to start by opening and closing our hands. So we're going to stretching the fingers out, and then balling your fists together and stretching them out again. Oh, yeah, got one? Yes. All right, so here, so this is a part of our body that is, I wouldn't say it's neglected, but now that we mostly sit on devices, we don't write as much as we used to. We want to make sure that we get some circulation in there. Now I'm going to move down to my toes. You can't see them here, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm squinching them up and then trying to fan them out. If you can't really feel where that is, I want you to kind of visualize it. Imagine the feeling. Imagine what it feels like. You're squinching up your toes and then fanning them out. So you can even mimic it with your hands. That makes it easier at the same time. Because in dance, we want to move to the end of our body. So if you see, if I make a gesture and my hand is just kind of flat, it looks different than if I use my fingers and they're alive, but that takes waking them up and getting them ready to move. So taking your wrists, you're wiggling them from side to side. And now I want you to do that same gesture, but we're going to go to the same side. So the wrists, instead of in opposition, we're going to go same direction. We're going to clap our hands up and down, so just giving them a flap, warming up the wrists. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put one up and one down. And move one at a time. And let's just circle. And then circle out. elbows hang at your side. And I want you to try and just keep those elbows exactly in place and move nothing else but that forearm. So everything else just kind of frozen in place. Just those forearms are moving. Now if you lift your hands up, we're going to lift our arms a little like chicken wings from the elbow. Now, so what you think about here is we've done this exercise or something like it a little bit before. So I want you to feel like it's just your elbows that are moving. Everything else is relaxed. Just think elbows. Feel where they are in your body and feel that they are driving the movement. That it's your elbows that are lifting. Everything else is relaxed. Your hands are relaxed. Your wrists, your forearms, your shoulders are relaxed. It's only those elbows that are going up and down. And lowering yours to the side. We're going to do the same thing again. We're just going to pick up those elbows, lift them down, your elbows, lift them down. Everything else is soft. Just the elbows are working. Good job, butterflies. And now we're going to lift our shoulders up and lift them down. Now, it's not important how high we lift them, but I want you to again think about just shoulders. So try and relax your arms and let your shoulders do all the work. So we do dance at the end. So we're moving on from merengue. Today we're going to do bachata, which is another Latin social style. So we're not doing ballroom here in the mornings. We are doing just it's more of a casual style, but there is a technique involved, and we are breaking everything down really piece by piece, so that even if you've never danced before, ever, this is the dance for you. So we're going to be learning not only the steps, but how you do it and how you can look good doing it. So. Stick with us. We add on a tiny piece each day. All right, so I want you to try and lift just one shoulder. And again, I tend to exaggerate my movements as well so you can see it, but even if it's just a little bit, just give it a little time. Up, down. That's fine. Hi, Elijah. Good morning. And we're just going to kind of pulse that shoulder up and down. See if you can feel just the one shoulder moving. And then we're going to move to the other shoulder. Hi, Danitz. Is it Danitz? All right, good job. Okay, so we're going to take our same shoulders. And again, you want to feel like you're frozen from your shoulders down, and it's just your shoulders moving, kind of one forward and back, and forward. So if you're looking from the side, I'm just giving this a little push forward. Now, what I'm feeling when I do this is, now, see, if there's any like physical therapists or doctors out there, you can tell me, is I'm feeling it right. I am really lifting right from here. Now we're going to try and locate our shoulder blades later on, but it's almost like if you try and lift your elbow to the back a little bit and rotate your shoulder forward, that's the feeling that I have. So you can also try that if you lift your elbow a little. It's almost like it's rotating forward. And I'm going to go on to the other one. Get that forward-ish rotation. So, and if you can't feel it right away, that's okay. We're going to be working on all of these. And we're just trying to see if we can concentrate all the feeling, all those nerve endings on like one part of our body, so that when we think, okay, shoulder, boom, we have that isolation. It's called isolation. We do a lot of those in dance. All right, looking left. And looking to the right. I'm sorry, looking left. Now we're looking right and looking left. So now we're gonna do 4 times to the right. 1, very slowly. Again, this is gentle. 2, 3, and 4. And just do you feel a little looser on the 4th time? And do the other side. I say sometimes left and right, but I'm not super picky about which side we start on. But what I would like to do is every so often switch to the other side, try and either alternate or go back and forth from which side that you're starting on. Okay, now I'm going to move my arms. I'm going to the front, not too high, just this is a slow one. But I want to feel like when you're lifting up your arms, this time I want your wrists to lift you up. Everything else is relaxed. It's only your wrists that are pulling your arms up in the air and letting them relax. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to make one part of your body move and relax the rest, but that's something we're going to be working on a lot in this next part, is trying to feel where things are. And now we're going to take our fingertips, and those fingertips are going to lift our arms up. Do you feel there's a difference there? Now try and lift your arms from your wrists. And it doesn't matter how high they are. You can just, we're all different, we're all unique, we're all individuals, so you want to open that up to where you are right now. All right, good butterflies. So out of upper body today is what we're doing. Okay, now just, let's do an up and down. So we go all the way up and all the way down. And then we're going to move down and do a little bit of our standing crunches and our stretches, some of the other exercises, looking down to the front. And back down again. All right, butterfly. So we're going to stay standing here, and I want you to feel like your hips are, they're kind of rotating forward. You feel that? So you're in a relaxed position, and then you want to feel like you're bringing kind of the lower half forward. And with this, you want to tighten up your tummy, and then relax it. And then tighten up, and then relax it, and tighten up, and then relax it. All right, let's do our standing crunches. So if you are new here, if you have not done anything like this before, not for a long time, start with 2 or 3 and build up from there for those of you who've been here. So we had moved on to 12, 12 and 14. Let's move on to 14, 14 and 14. Are you with me? Yeah. Let's try it. And so the feeling we want is we're gonna be like bowing at the waist. And when we stand up again, we want to feel like a lengthening in our waists. Like we're getting longer and longer and longer right in this middle part. Thank you, Sean. Good morning. How's the weather there? So we're going to be bending over like we've got a cramp in our middles. And then we're going to stretch, stretch, stretch in this middle part to come up again. And that's 1. And stretching out 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And each time we're lengthening. I do this so I remember. And 9. Did I just count? And 10. 9. Is that good? And 11. 12. And stretching it last 2. loosening them. When I say loosen, we're just kind of letting them go a little bit and stretching back up. Letting go and stretching up. Later we're going to do more of an active knee bend, but in the beginning I like to just get our knees moving because they've probably been asleep or sitting, or we want to get that just that movement going so it's not like a shock when we dive into something. Okay, so going back up to our upper bodies, I'm going to take your shoulders and we're just going to tilt them. And again, we want to try and just do this very upper body. Everything else is frozen. It's like a tree trunk rooted to the ground. And we're just tilting our shoulders from side to side. Oh, thank you, Sean. I got you. Okay, so let's go back here to our knees. I try to profile you, but you can say however you're comfortable. And now we're going to be doing knee bends, and these are medium knee bends, small to medium. And before you even start bending, I want you to tighten up your legs. Just tighten up all the parts. Feel your calves, feel your upper butt, feel your upper legs, your thighs, everything is just going. And from there, keep them tight as you bend your knees, and your knees are going to go right over your toes. So what you want to do is align them so they're not going from to either side, because when we start to do strange things with our knees, that's really not good, because our knees only like to bend in one direction. In fact, unless you've got a special anatomy, which I've seen before, but your knees really don't go in other directions. And so once we've reached the bottom of our knee bend, we've still got everything tight, we're going to push the ground away from us. Now you remember, we're still magnetized to the ground. We've still got magnets on the bottom of our feet, which are sticking us to the earth, which is also one big magnet. And I want you to feel like, instead of standing up, that you are pushing the ground away from you. So I want you to really have that image that you're staying in place, but you are pushing that away from you to come up. And the other thing, and it's a lot to remember all the time, but I'm going to be calling everything out, is to have a book on your head. So you don't want to be leaning over, you want to be staying straight. And there's a lot to think about, but we're going to try it anyway. All right, so first thing is we're tightening up our legs. Every part of your leg is going. And then you're going to send your knees right over your toes. You reach the bottom, now push the ground away, push the ground away. You're staying right where you are, don't stand up, push the earth away from you. And then tightening up your legs again, and your toes are going over, your knees are going over your toes, and you reach the bottom, so push the ground away from you, push it away, and again, tightening up your legs, and your knees go over your toes, and you're going to push that ground away from you again. And let's do two more, tightening up your legs, and they start to bend. Knees are going over your toes, and push the ground away from you. Tighten your legs, now your knees are going over your toes, and push the earth away from you. Don't lose your book, that's bounced down your head, good job. Give your legs a little shake out. So, what we're doing here is, and we can work on this for a little bit, is we want to work on what's called grounding, because I'll say in dance, but really it would be applicable to many other sports as well. There's certain styles of dance where we want to be above the floor and we want to be very kind of light and delicate, but for the kind that we're doing now, it's very earthy. We want to be into, we want to feel heavy. We want to feel like we are feeling the ground. And it gives the dance a whole different look as to when, if we are kind of dancing above the ground, and then if we're really into the ground. So these are all things that take time, so we are starting now. And we are going to be trying to build up those feelings. So if you have something to hang onto, a chair, like to go slowly up and down, but you can just hold it if you want. And we're trying to stretch out back that way there. And this is really just for balance. You don't want to lean too much into it. And then we're going to take that same leg, bring it forward, and we're trying to stretch your toes up. So taking them off the ground, and feel like you're pulling your toes to your knee, way up to your knee. So if you can only go a little bit, that's fine. You just want to have that feeling. Pretend there's a string, like pulling those toes up to your knee. And let's do the other leg, and then we're going to come back to this one. So you're putting them behind you, and you stretch out. And then come back. And you're going to be stretching your toes up to your knee as much as you can. So a lot of these is really, it's really training your brain to work on that one part. So it's really kind of a skill set we're going to be working on, that you're relaxing everything else and only one part of your body is working. Ooh, there's my earring. Where did that happen? My stuffing's coming out. All right, so let's do our bigger knee bends right away. And we are going to leave this here just in case you need for balance, but try not to lean too much on it. Put a couple fingers on whatever it is. And we're going to do the same thing, tightening up your legs, tightening all parts of it. But this time we're going to go a little deeper. And if you've been doing this for a while, as deep as you can, this is your deep knee bends. And then your knees are going over your toes. And you're keeping those tight muscles on your legs. And now you're going to push the ground away from you. And you're low this time, so push even harder. To come up, taking your legs, knees going over your toes. And push the ground away. And taking your legs, knees going over your toes. And pushing the ground away. Legs tightening, knees going over your toes. And pushing the ground away. Good job. Shake that out a little bit. So this you can do facing whatever you're holding onto, or you can hold onto one hand. I'm just going to show you the weight change. So remember, we always talk about having this square. These are the sides of your square. Oh, I actually have tape right here. 1 second, guys. We're going to tape up. Okay. Plan on this, it just happened to be lying there, so I was like, let's do this. This is a good day to do it. Got the time to just let it. So we've got one side of our square there, maybe just do two sides, but you get the idea. Good night. All right. So we've got a square that looks a little like this. Now, of course, we're not exactly. Let's roll the sides forward to each other. Okay, yeah, we're not symmetrical, obviously, but this is more like a mental visualization of what you want to be thinking about. So you want to be thinking, imagining that you have your square here. Yeah, I'm happy this tape is here, actually. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I keep forgetting the tape. So, got my square, yay. Okay, so this square is something you want to be conscious of, and we're going to be doing a weight shift. And we're going to go down a little bit in the middle, so we're going to have our knees a little bit bent so we have a bigger range of motion. And from here, we're good. What we want to do is keep this square. We don't want it to be tilting. We don't want its sides to go out of shape. We don't want to bend it. We're going to try and keep it just as it is. And it's like it's going across a flat surface. So we're going to be bending our knees and pushing into the ground with one leg to slide that square onto one leg. And what I'm doing is stacking that square directly over that leg. Now I'm going to push in the ground with this leg and slide it over to the other side. And the square is right over it. It's stacked like children's blocks up in a tower over that leg. And pushing to the ground, going this way. So this is your balance, or your future balance, because it's much more difficult to balance if you leave it to chance. I'd say if you're like lifting up a leg and trying to get over your other leg without any kind of plan. And what we're going to do is have a plan. We're going to be pressing the ground with the leg that's not lifting. And first we're going to have that square, and we're going to have it right stacked over your leg here. Feel your whole foot on the ground. Feel that it's flat, that magnet is still sticking, so that it gives you a lot of support, a nice good base. And then you have your square, which is over. You can test yourself, you don't have to, but just once you get that feeling of your square is moving from side to side, and then that is going to give you your balance. Now there are times when we are going to tilt our square, but for now I want to just do that as an exercise. So we will be working on that. In fact, let's work on our hip movements, because that's something that I want to progress with our Bachata. So we're going to be, again, sitting in the middle, a little knee bend, and soften them or bend them so that you have more movement down here. So the more your knees are bent, the more movement you're going to have. And your shoulders, so the top part of your square is going to stay in place. And what you do is swing the bottom half so it's tilting. That's going to the diagonal. And coming back. And to get there, you want to feel like somebody's taking your hip and pulling it up this direction. And then it swings like the clap of a bell. It's going back to the middle. And somebody's pulling you up your other hip. And you see your shoulders are not really moving. They're staying in place. But it's like somebody's staying on either side and saying, shik, has hooked your hip and is pulling it up. You're going down a little bit in the middle. And they've hooked your hip and they're bringing it to the side and up. And down. And to the side and up. And back down. And to the side and up. And back down. Side and up. And the last one. And to the side and up. And back down. You feeling that a little bit, fireflies? Now, if you don't feel something right away, this is completely normal. This is the way we all are when we're learning a new movement. But we do a lot of repetition here and a lot of breaking down, so that if you have the patience and the perseverance, that you will be able to feel it. So stick with it, fireflies. You can do it. I think. All right, so let's go on to the second set of our standing crunches. If you're just joining, you're starting with 2 or 3 if you have not done this before or it's been a long time, because on this channel we have realistic goals. We're going to really keep it real and do things that we can maintain. All right, so feels like you're getting a cramp in your middle, so push it in, and then as you stand up, you're going to feel big lengthening right in your waist area. Try and feel it right here. And 1, and 2 lengthening, and 3 lengthening, and 4, and 5. Don't forget to lengthen each time. And 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. And 11, stretching up, almost there, and 12, if I'm tired, because I don't know, it just kind of feels like in the beginning I'm feeling like, all right, today's going to be different, today's going to be, whatever it is. All right, you just lean back to stretch out that middle. Thanks, hi again, Sean. Sean's from California. All right, flare flies. I hadn't planned on the tape today, but since I do have it, I want to do a little bit more with that, so that since we have it on. So we spent quite a few weeks learning merengue, which is it's a social dance. It's a super fun one, which is it's a stepping dance, so you're all the time, and we were doing all kinds of things with it. But we were also working on stepping, so breaking down this step of the Latin social dance, so we can have a little more style when we're doing it, a little more of that. Because a lot of times our eyes deceive us. If you're looking at people social dancing in this style, it looks like they're moving their hips a lot, but it's not really their hips so much are moving that are this whole kind of lower body. It might be easier to see with the tape on. So it's not a hip that's moving, it's this whole thing. So when we do that pendulum exercise, that's what we're doing. And it's also, what gives the hip movement is that movement, and also the change of weight as you're stepping. So we are breaking this down piece by piece, and we're gonna learn how to get that nice swing that gives us that flavor in our dance. So we started with our weight shift. So we've done various exercises. So this one is one that you might know, but if you're new here, so we're gonna start with our legs together, and we're gonna be stepping to the side. But what I want you to feel is not just your leg moving and then your weight shifting over your side. I want you to almost feel like you're gonna fall to the side and you put a leg out to catch yourself. Hi, Ramiro. Good. How you doing? So, what I'm doing is I'm taking my whole body weight and I am putting it right over the leg I'm stepping on. If you can envision skaters, right? How they skate along. Before they step on their leg, they have to put all of their weight over that foot, because they're balancing on a thin blade. They can't tip forward or backward or anywhere other than right over their legs. So it's like that square we're talking about is going to be balanced overhead. So for this exercise, we're just going to have the feeling like we're about to tip over and we put a foot out to catch ourselves. And it doesn't have to be like a sharp movement. You're just moving it over and trying to take your body weight with you. And boom, goes right over your leg. And then we're going to bring this one in. Now see, it's very easy to bring in because all of my weight is over this leg. So I'm going to pull this one in. And I want to step again in this direction. So I'm going to take my square. I'm going to shift it over this leg. Now I've freed up this leg. And we're going to do our falling onto that leg. Hi, Calvin Kelly. And bringing this one in. Okay, so we've done this before in merengue. So we've been moving to the sides. We're falling over a leg, bringing it together, and then putting our weight over this leg. And then we're going to fall on this leg again. These can be little steps. In fact, I urge you to start little, because if you have a big step, that's a long way to fall. So we're just doing little tiny steps and falling over our leg. And then as we bring this leg in, we're taking our square, putting it over here, so we have the freedom to move in this direction. So, but after I've done that, so I've fallen and brought my leg together in this direction, I want to go this way again. So I'm going to keep my weight here, and we're going to fall over this leg and change our weight. Does that make sense, fireflies? So if you're moving this direction, you are going to fall onto that leg, move this one in, but we're only going to do one step to each side. So when you bring this leg in the second time, we're going to go like we're tilting the other way, and we're going to fall on this leg. But we're only shifting our weight once we fall onto it. So when we bring it in, keeping our weight here, and then we're going to go this way. And then we're going to bring this leg in, our body weight shifts over it, and we're going to fall onto this leg. And now we'll go this way again, so keeping the weight here, keep your square over this leg, and now falling onto it. Does that make sense, Fireflies? We're going to repeat this. This is something that you want to understand and do a lot of. We're going to repeat, repeat, repeat. That's what dance is all about. Bringing this one in, shifting your weight onto it. We're going to fall again, because once we get this smooth, you're going to have a nice hip movement. And look really stylish when you're dancing. All right, bringing it in, but we're not going to shift our weight. We're only going to shift our weight when we fall on it. And that is the change of direction that we have in Bachata. This one is coming in, shifting my weight over it, and I'm falling onto this leg. So if you want, I can also maybe turn around. Let me know. If it's easier to watch from the back than it is to mirror. Everybody's different. I'm okay with mirroring. That we're on opposite legs, because I'm on my right, you're on your left if we're facing each other. But we can also switch it around. But what we're eventually aiming for is we've got this pendulum movement that we just did, and we've got this one where we're falling on our leg. So at some point we're going to be combining these and getting our nice hip swing that is it looks like you're doing your hips, but again it's like a whole body movements. All right, Fireflies. If you want to grab onto whatever you have nearby, it doesn't really matter what. Again, let's just do something for our feet. So we're taking the square and we are going to, again, slide it over one leg. Try and keep it even. Try not to tilt it too much. And then we're going to take the leg that we're not standing on, and we're going to lift up our heel and put it down, and lift up our heel and put it down. So we want to get, our feet are also something that we want to pay attention to and start to feel a little bit more, because I don't want to say we neglect them. I mean, we use them a whole lot, so we need to really take care of them, be aware of where they are, and then we're going to take our weight, we're going to shift it over the other leg, and then we're going to be lifting and lowering this heel. But since, it's kind of an extremely, it's a further part, we want to get the blood really flowing down there and kind of wake up those nerve endings, so we can feel exactly what it is. We have a lot of nerve endings in our feet, and we don't want to neglect them. We want to give them a lot of love, because they do a lot for us. And coming back, give yourself a little shake out. And yes, it's the last set of Fireflies. We'll count down for 14. All right, again, if you're new to this channel, start with 2 or 3. And you're going to work up from there. All right, Fireflies. So you're going to get a great big cramp in your tummy. And as you stand up, you're going to stretch, 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 and lengthen your waist. Lower neck. And 13. And 12, lengthening. And 11. And 10. And 9. Stretching up each time, lengthening, and 8, and 7, feel it right in here, and it's like a 6, and 5, and 4, lengthening, and 3, lengthening, getting taller, adding an extra one every 2 or 3 days, and soon enough, you will be there. All right, Fireflies. Let's give ourselves a little stretch forward. Need to not forget this one. I always have like what I want to do in my head, but there's some moments where I forget. All right, so we're going to be leaning forward and embrace yourself here, depending on your range of movements. And from here, just going to take a sec, and then you don't want to put too much weight on your knees. This is really just for balance. You're going to straighten up your knees without picking your body. So I'm not stretching it like this, I'm keeping everything in place. I'm just kind of lifting up a little in the back, and then lowering again. So if I could...
No, if you want to back and watch the earlier lives, yeah, this is do a dance for you. The legs doesn't give up fresh.
So there were some earlier ones that I may have... I need to go back and look, because I think at a certain point it was kind of work in progress. All right, we're going to stretch and lower while we're doing that. And you want to try and keep your body down. And each time you lower, try to get a tiny bit lower. Because, you know, I knew I wanted to start something. Oh, want to dance? Okay, yeah, we're almost there. Let's just do this little stretch and we'll get there. All right. That for, you know, some people say to me like, oh, you know, I can't dance, I've never danced, I can't, you know, I've got 2 left feet and what have you. And I said, no, I mean, I definitely have 2 left feet, so we're letting it hang down. And I can breathe in and breathe out and go a little lower. And give it a minute just to hang there, and we're gonna roll up. But for me, what's important is the slow build-up, you know, realistic goals. Because there's nothing more frustrating than going to a beginner class and you're like, oh my goodness, it's like, you know, there's bodybuilders here, this is so unfair. You know, I want to feel like, you know, I can go in a class and feel like it's attainable. And also to break down movements, because what looks kind of simple, it's meant to look simple, you know, because we practice dance a lot, but a lot of these moves, to do them well, you really have to break them down piece by piece, at least I do, you know, unless you've got like really good natural coordination, you can pick it up right away. So that's what we're doing here. All right, so let's get to our bachata. Everybody's getting impatient. I'm yammering too much today. Okay, so bachata is, you can say it's a 4 count or an 8 count, but what it is we're gonna step together, step and tap, and then we'll go back in the same legs, step together, step and tap. That's all it is. And we're going to do it this way. We're going to start stepping on the left foot, and step together, step, tap right, step on your right foot, bring your left foot to it, step on your right foot, tap your left. And then step on our left foot, bring your right foot to it, step on our left foot, tap to the right, step on the right, bring left, step right, tap left, left, right to it, and left, tap right, and right. Together, right, tap, left, left, together, left, tap, right, right, together, right, tap, left, left, together, left, tap, right, right, together, right, tap, left. Good? Okay, that is our bachata basic. That's the kind of the step we always come back to. Even if you're, you know, dancing in pairs in the social, you'll see that the leads are always going back repeating that over and over while they're thinking like what to do next. So those are the steps, and what we're going to be doing slowly is working on that shifting the weight and some other nuances, and then we're going to learn other steps. This bachata is a whole thing. There's different styles, there's a lot of different steps, but there's also a lot of body movement that is involved here. So that's something that I want to work on with you guys, because you know, you can certainly dance like this. You know, you can do the steps and not move your body, but we wanted to have a little bit of pizzazz here, so we're going to be working on breaking down these movements so that you can have a little more fun with your bachata. All right, so flare flies. Do we want to repeat that, or are we good? We want to put on some music, and we're just going to do left together, left tap right, right together, right tap left, and we're just going to go back and forth. And tomorrow we will, or rather on Wednesday, we're going to add on to that. Yep. Yes, he can. Left, right, left, tap, right, together, right, tap, left, left, together, tap, right, right, together, right, tap, left, left, together, left, tap, right, right, together, right, tap, left, left, together, left, tap, right, right, together. I'm going to flip it around too, so you can see, so that's easier to follow. Keep going, fireflies. We want this to start to feel natural at some point, which means doing a lot of it. After a few weeks, you're just you could do this in your sleep. It's gonna feel like your body is doing it without your mind even turning on. Keep your steps small. Keep a little bend in your knees. Up and down, I'm just kind of keeping kind of flat. Keep going, third line, a little more. I want you to get that muscle memory. So it's going to be easier on Wednesday, and we can add on to it. This is a very popular dance. It's a very beautiful one. It's a very social one. People do it in pairs, but I like to do kind of solo things, like line dances and this kind of solo choreography. So I taped an entire, well, not entire choreo, at least the first entire part of the choreo, but I messed it up, so I have to redo it now. All right, there, flies. Great job. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with this dance. It's super expressive, and it's got a lot of style. So we are going to be learning little by little, and you are going to be great by the end. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Everybody can dance. We've done it. We've done the merengue, and this one you can do too. I believe in all of you. All right, my fireflies. I'm going to jump back on for the intermediates, and we are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the Get Ready for the Day routine. I've been going a little bit more slowly today. Sometimes we'll pick up the pace. It's different every time, but I wanted to work on that body movement. Thank you. Is it Nick? Huh? Thank you, Nick. So we are going to be doing different movements each time, but we're also going to be repeating a lot because the way to really get that muscle memory is to do things over and over. There's no other way around it. So my flare flies, thank you so much for being here, being part of this community. Is that 100,000? Please like and subscribe. That would be awesome. And we are all on this journey together. So let's be there for this community and for each other. All right, my flare flies. I will see you very soon. Love to all of you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Oh, you're waiting for me. All right, flare flies. I'll see you in the intermediate or on Wednesday.